Hey everybody, it's Eric here. It's been a while since I made my last video, but I've been busy moving into my new house, as most of you guys know. Very exciting time, but a very tiring time as well. Now, I wanted to speak a little bit more about the topic my last video was based upon, which is discovering your life's purpose. Now, unsurprisingly, it was an incredibly popular video because I had so much follow-up via private message and personal conversations about some of the things I spoke about. In that video, I said to you guys that the first thing you need to do when trying to discover your life's purpose is to actually ask the right question, which is, what is it that you have to offer the world? What problems can you solve, rather than sitting back and waiting for the world to give you the answer? Now, following up from that, as you can probably work out yourselves, what problems you can solve in the world requires you to understand more about yourself, understand what your strengths and weaknesses are. And you can only really do that by, engaging in different experiences and letting enough time pass with your experiences, right? To glean exactly what it is that you're incredibly good at and what you're weak at. But for most of you out there, especially those who are watching this video, I'm sure for you guys, you already know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And if you're approaching this 30 and beyond age, you're probably quite well set in what you are strong at and what you're weak at. So the problem that gets posed is really all the options you have available to you, even in the arenas of your strengths. That's the thing about living in a first world country, right? There's just so many options available to us. It really is one of those first world problems. When I thought about how I could answer this particular question, I'm reminded of something somebody said to me that I met not too long ago from the business marketplace, named Andrew Jobling. Now, he's an ex-AFL football player from St Kilda, and I met up with him last week for coffee to discuss some business. But I also chose to pick his brain and asked him the question, what should we who are just beginning this journey of entrepreneurship, of discovering one's life's purpose, what should we in the beginning be focusing our energies upon? Because it really translates into that problem, right? We have all these options available to us, but we have problems focusing our time and energy into one particular avenue because we have trouble making a particular choice. And he said the way to solve that particular problem and to know how to filter through all those options available to us is to really know what your top 5 values are. Or in other words, what are the top 5 things that are most important to you in life, in career, and all the other avenues that make up who you are. And he said, for a lot of people, they sort of get in general what is important to them. And for a lot of things, I would say, are important to us, are sort of important to us because of the nature of being human or living in this particular society. Like, we all say financial security and money is important to us because we live in a world run by money. But is money actually a top 5 value for you? Another example would be, I've always felt that connection with other people has to be important to everybody. And of course it is, because it's a core need of being human. But for a lot of people, it's not actually a top 5 value because they're, introverts, and they like being behind a desk and working behind the scenes and not engaging in people and having that personal autonomy. That's just something that they enjoy as part of their personality. So connection might be important, but might not actually be a top 5 value. So the real answer to all this is actually sitting down and really creating sort of like a mind map or a brainstorming map about what are the things that are actually important to you, to really put pen to paper, because you might discover some things about yourself and you might realize that some things that you automatically assumed would be important based upon, say, what our parents told us, or what, the environment, what our media and what civilization has told us, might not actually be that important to you as an individual. So when you're able to work out what your top 5 values are in order of rank, that becomes sort of like a yardstick that you can measure everything else against. All your decisions, all your career choices, your choice of partner. They have to tick at least the majority of the boxes in your top 5 values. In fact, if they can tick them all, then you're definitely on the right path. Because being able to engage in something that meets all your values will indicate to you that there'll be sustainability in that particular choice. A lot of times we make choices based on the novelty, based on, you know, an emotional sort of feeling where we think that we'll enjoy doing this. But just because we enjoy it now, once the novelty wears off, we'll be able to sustainably work and live in that particular choice. And knowing what your top 5 values are allows you to understand that yes, you would be able to have a sustainable future in a particular choice because it meets what is so core important to you as an individual. So my friends, I think that's the message for today. Really take some time, whether it be during a break or when you have some sort of opportunity, to really sit down, type away on your phone or put pen to paper what is important to you, what your values are, and then rank them in order of importance. So my friends, I hope this video was helpful to you. And as someone who told me recently, make sure you work hard, but love harder.